Hey guys, welcome back to Music Talk with John. Today I'm going to continue through some of my jazz albums. Today I'm featuring Art Blakey. I have several of his albums, so I'm just going to talk about him for a little bit. Still learning about jazz, but I have found that I do like everything that I've heard so far by Art Blakey, so I'm starting to build a little bit of a collection on him. I haven't really done the research either to see how many albums he has out there, but we're going to talk about the ones that I have here. So the first one I have for you is Art Blakey's Jazz Messengers with Thelonious Monk. Now, Monk I really haven't gotten into, but I do like him here with Blakey. I'm not sure why I haven't gotten into Monk. I just don't know. Maybe I haven't heard enough of Monk, but I do see a lot of Monk. It seems like he's the guy like everywhere. But with Blakey in here, you just love it. He's a great drummer. The enthusiasm's in there, something about the energy, and then you have that hard bop going. So just love what's going on there. So this is, and again, I've talked about it before, but I love how the back of this is and how they put the story of what's going on. They put the personnel. We have Art Blakey on drums, Thelonious Monk on piano, Johnny Griffin, tenor sax, Bill Hardman on trumpet, and Spanky DeBrest on bass. There's a nice book that came with it. And some cool photos, when I remember. Yeah, some cool session photos. Yeah, he just that smile on his face every time he plays drums. You just knew he loved playing. I've seen videos of him in interviews, and he just always had a big smile. So there's your Thelonious. Some clippings, I guess, of their performances. Okay. So you have that. So it's a nice booklet. I don't remember this costing very much. There he is again, Art Blakey, just looking proud and happy on that drum set. I can't figure out where to put you. There we go. Some cool pics on the back of the band. So very cool, good sounding album. This is, I believe, 2 record set. I don't remember, was this a mono and a stereo version of this? Let's see. I know you had the album, and then you had some, looks like, outtakes and different takes of the songs on here. So there's your sleeves. Then kind of flipped around. So there's your outtakes, and there's me in the middle. But there you go. So good sounding album. It's Art Blakey. Like I said, there's an energy to Blakey. There's a spirit to Blakey that I'm finding. I just love his love of this music, and every time you see him playing, he's just smiling and playing and just going at it. So love the Blakey. So this is my other one. This was one that was highly sought after or recommended, and this was Moanin'. So I guess this is one of his go-to albums. So if you want to start with Blakey, I guess this is the one. This has Moanin', Are You Real, Along Came Betty, The Drum Thunder Miniature Suite, Blues March, and Come Rain or Come Shine. If you look here, you're on Blue Note. You can't go wrong with Blue Note. I've never had a problem with Blue Note. And this is the classic vinyl series, audiophile vinyl reissues from the finest in jazz since 1939. Mastered from the original analog tapes. And honestly, I don't hear a difference. If an album sounds good, it sounds good. I can't tell if there's a digital source in it or not. All I know is when I listen to my music, does it sound good? Yes. Then I'm going to keep it. So there's him, Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. That typical back, which is awesome, giving you the song titles and your personnel and a story behind what's happening. So you have Lee Morgan, which is another name I'm getting familiar with on trumpet. He has his own as a band leader. He has some of his own albums. You have Benny Golson on tenor sax, Bobby Timmons on piano, Jimmy Merritt on bass, and Art Blakey on drums. So these Jazz Messengers, they were just a good, nice, energetic, hard bop band, and I'm really learning to enjoy these guys. So if you're looking to get into jazz, check out Art Blakey, and maybe Moanin' is a good start for you. All right, next I have Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, The Big Beat. this is on Blue Note again, right there. And there he is. Like I said, never fails with that big smile. Art Blakey smile, man. Just digging it, loving it. Now, I did hear he had somewhat of a drug problem. I think the Jazz Bums, they were talking about him, and there might have been some heroin use at some time. You might want to look that up, but I think he did go through a drug problem. And what I heard is, even though he did have a drug issue, unlike other people like Coltrane and other people who have also had a drug issue, and I think heroin was the big problem, Blakey was reliable. Like, they said he would show up and be on and go, where a lot of those other guys might not show up and might have those other issues. So I love that smile. Look at him. Just, that's a guy enjoying what he's doing. Got your back cover there, like I said. And then another, like I always point out, anytime I see made in Germany, I'm pretty sad. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be satisfied, because those German pressing plants are just really good quality stuff. I believe this is on your typical black vinyl on a Blue Note label. And I do like that Blue Note middle there. It's pretty cool. And your personnel here, Lee Morgan. Then you have Wayne Shorter on tenor sax, and I believe Wayne Shorter also has his own as a band leader. Bobby Timmons on piano, Jimmy Merritt on bass, and Art Blakey on drums. And what I'm learning is that a lot of these guys play together and really supported each other, it seemed like. So you would see one guy like Herbie Hancock. He played with Miles Davis for a long time, and then Herbie went off and did his own thing. And a lot of these guys will show up even as the second man on their albums. When, like, say Art Blakey was the band leader on this one, and one of his guys went out and did an album, he'd go in and support him. So you're going to see like a change in what do you call it? Personnel, basically. But you're going to see the same people in different spots. One guy's the band leader this time, and then he's going to be playing with this guy. And you're going to see a lot of guys borrowing from each other. So it's pretty neat. And then you can start really hearing the distinct differences between the instruments. I know jazz is a little bit hard to figure out, and I'm still on my journey to... I have this theory that I want to understand jazz and recognize jazz players in a way that I recognize vocalists in the rock and pop world. I want to, just like I can recognize Billy Joel's voice or Elton John's voice or the scratchy Rod Stewart voice, you know, those things that stand out. I want to, and I hope you can do that in a jazz world, hear a trumpet and go, oh, that's Miles Davis. I want to hear drums and go, oh, that's Art Blakey. So I'm hoping to get to that point and get that familiar with it. Now, I've been listening to jazz or rock and pop for years, so I have more experience with that. But I'm hoping, and if you guys have any experience with this, if you have little ways of knowing who does what, put that in the comments for me so I can maybe learn off of you and maybe your experience. But that's what my goal is with jazz. So even though I'm not that greatly familiar with a lot of this, I do know when I put it on, I enjoy it. There are songs like Moanin' and I think it's Lee Morgan Sidewinder. Hopefully I got that right. That I hear and I go, oh, I know that song. I even saw that heard that on an episode of Better Call Saul.
Next. Welcome. Take a load off.
Before we talk phones, let's talk you.
I'm guessing from
Our brief acquaintance that you're a fella who, occasionally, through no fault of your own, finds yourself in a Donnybrook or two. Yeah.
I was just impressed that I could actually name a jazz song that was being played in a show. So I'm like, hey, I'm getting somewhere. So slowly but surely. But just like Blakey here, that's my enthusiasm towards jazz right there. That's me on the inside when I listen to jazz. So that is Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers with the big beat. This one is another one I definitely recommend for you newbies out there trying to get into the jazz world. Definitely a good one. All right, here's one of the first ones that I got by Blakey, and this one's really good. This is a live performance, and I believe there's a video out on YouTube on this. This is on Blue Note. This is a 2-album set. This is, oops, sorry, let's get you in focus there. A little issue there. Stayed in focus tonight, I apologize. Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers' First Flight to Tokyo, the Lost 1961 recordings. This features the Jazz Messengers. So you have Lee Morgan, Wayne Shorter, Bobby Timmons, and Jimmy Merritt. This is a really good album. Really like this one. So I definitely check this one out. And I don't think, like I said, this is one of those ones where at the record store they're like, you might want to get it. And I did, and I haven't seen it since. So some of these guys get released and then you don't see them again for a while. So glad I picked this one up. And there's your gatefold. Nice gatefold. Picture presentation. Just really nice. Just looks cool. And then your backside there. A little artier, more colorful than most of your jazz records, but just really looks cool. Definitely recommend this one. Let's see if there's any goodies in here. I believe there was. It's on black vinyl. Nice protective sleeves. Although these don't have, I'll have to check those out. This has a nice booklet. And there you go with Art Blakey doing his thing right there. Look at that smile. See? Guess since I'm doing it, I might as well show you the whole book, right? You can just fast forward if you don't want to see the whole thing. This is what I should be reading. And I, have to discipline myself to be reading this because this is where you learn about the jazz right here. And they give you a lot of information right there on the back of the albums for you to learn by. And I need to really do that. So, and I think that's Blakey there. Maybe he's doing some talking. I think there is some dialogue from him.
I'd like to do a tune composed and arranged seriously by our pianist Bobby Timmons. It's a little thing we recorded on, I say it now, Blue Note. Blue Note Records. Yeah, we can. He said I can say it. We sincerely hope you all buy these records. God knows.
Definitely a good album. The Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, First Flight to Tokyo. Definitely recommend this album. All right, and the last one I have here is a more recent pickup. It's a later recording. I believe this was in maybe the 80s, 70s or 80s, 1983 maybe, so a little bit later. But he stayed pretty true, like where Miles branched out and got into the jazz fusion kind of thing. Blakey, I think, from what I can tell right now, he didn't get into that too much. It stayed pretty true to the classic jazz sound. And this is just a good one right here. It's Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers live at Sweet Basil. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. So it's just got your cool cover there. Digging that. And your standard jazz back right there with your information on it. And what is the personnel here? It is the Jazz Messengers. And you have a little bit of a change up here. So you have Art Blakey on drums, Terrence Blanchard on trumpet, Donald Harrison alto sax, Gene Toussaint on tenor sax, Mulgrew Miller piano, and Lonnie Plaxico on bass. So this is a nice, another one of those live recordings, and it definitely, I'm glad I picked it up. I was able to get this for a pretty decent price. I'm not sure how popular it is or whatever, but it definitely fits in with my Blakey stuff. So I definitely enjoy it. So hopefully you're learning something about jazz. I hope people that normally aren't into jazz watch these videos, because you're going to see from somebody like me who's new to this, there's a lot of cool stuff out there, a lot of nice stuff. It's not just background elevator music. No way. These guys are so tight and play off of each other. It's just amazing what they accomplish, and the improvisation in jazz I'm starting to understand, and it's just really cool stuff. So definitely give it a chance if you made it this far in my video. But anyway, thank you for watching again. If you have any comments or any things to tell me as far as, what I could do to learn more about jazz, or any insight that you have, definitely put it in the comments. I'll read it. And I definitely appreciate you guys taking your time to do that. So anyway, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, you guys enjoy your music and you take care. Bye.